Make every night a wonderful journey, no matter where you are. Good night, sweet dreams. The first story, Lifesavers. Out of every 100 Lifesavers gummies packages, there is one unique package bearing unusual lifesavers. Should you open it, you will find them in all sorts of shapes. For example, you may find one twisted in the shape of infinity. The odd thing is, if it ever touches your tongue, you will taste the sweetest thing you could ever imagine. But when you swallow it, the next thing you eat will feel bitter, and you will have this feeling that you are missing something. That something is something that is important regarding your future. Whatever you do, you must not forget it addendum to this can be found below. Another example, this one's even more disturbing. You will find a small reconstructed lifesaver that looks like it was stretched then ripped apart. At some pieces bitten off and then reattached, yet there are no traces of saliva, and it looks fresh. When you read it, it will spell EVILSFEA, whereas if you taste it, it will be tasteless, but you will feel an incredible sensation, and then nausea. Ignore it when it touches your throat. You will start hallucinating, and you will hear repulsive things, and receive murderous thoughts so vividly you will be gasping for air as soon as you have swallowed it. When it reaches your stomach, you will start sweating and you will feel dizzy, and likely pass out. Whether you wake up or are in your dreams, no one knows. You will be confronted with your biggest fear and surely die. Your body will be carried by the paramedics, and they will be intercepted by a black van which will take your body away, never to be seen again. Other reports suggest black helicopters. But should you manage to overcome your fear, you will receive something in the mail that will bring your greatest joy. Finally, the darkest of them all, the skull-shaped lifesaver. It will be composed of black and yellow lifesavers. Its eyes will be made from the red ones. Its taste is very difficult to pinpoint. Some say that it is sweet, some say it is revolting, while others say it's bland. Should you consume it, you will immediately hear a knock on the door. Whatever you do, you must not answer it. The Death Reaper has come. You must suppress your fears and worries and all negative emotion and then reply, "I am free." Shout it out. If you must sustain this stance until midnight, and then he will leave. Now open the door. You will find the greatest secret the world can never know. But if you fail, you will die on that spot, and your body will be nothing more than dust. Then a strong wind will come and carry your dust to unknown places. Your spirit will never be able to rest again. They say your taste preferences determine your future. They are right. If you found it tasty, you embrace death and have nothing to lose. There is a 50% chance you will die. If you found it revolting, you embrace life and are not willing to submit, and so you will surely die. If you found it bland, you don't care if you die, you just want to live life to its fullest. You will be rewarded for this with a great secret. Use it wisely. A new lifesaver gummy has appeared. It is described as being found amputated, cut in half, one half remaining, one apparently discarded, and then both ends of the remaining half were united so elaborately that you cannot tell if it was ever a dual entity. Its shape resembles a horseshoe, but both towers toppled against each other into one single conglomerate resembling its former shadow. There is no hollow, no abominable hole on the left side. There is what appears to be a skull or a skeleton. On the right side, there is what appears to be a snake. They say the second you taste this lifesaver, you will die, but it has been asserted that this is merely a warning of an inconceivable death. They are in fact correct. When you eat it, you will suffer a fate worse than death, a tumultuous past, and a never-ending future. a chance to gain nothing and to regret everything. Sorrow will never depart from you, everything will work against you. And yet the wheels of time will never stop turning as your misery finally ends and you are free. This is your sentence, your death sentence, ashes to ashes. This is frailty, this is life. But most importantly, you must never, ever think about the meaning of the infinity lifesaver. If you discover the meaning of this symbol and why this lifesaver is twisted in that shape, you will receive a phone call answer. The caller will ask you 3 questions corresponding to 3 life-changing decisions you have made in your life. If you answer them all correctly, they will offer to replace your current package with a better one. Except you will receive a package in the mail 1 week later. When you open it, you will find a map inside. No one knows what this map leads to, but some surmise Atlantis. Do you believe in a utopia? A heaven? It has been suggested that this map leads to paradise. All I know is that when you reach your destination, you will not want to leave. If you do not answer correctly, you will find your package on the next day, yet there will be no trace of a search. Also, it will be as if you had never eaten from this package. You will have an empty stomach when you wake up. Even if you hide it, they will find it. If you happen upon them in their search and try to obstruct them, they will kill you. Investigations have found strangulation to be the most common death, although some victims had gunshot wounds while others had signs of poisoning. And yet there is no sign of a struggle. Nothing has been disturbed. Now you have reached the end of this particular myth. You must stop reading and skip the paragraph below. But if you have assisted them in finding it, read on. They will hand you a mirror. When you look into it, it is impossible not to. You will relinquish your job and career and abandon all the things you have come to love. You will forfeit your entire life and kill yourself right on the spot. You may be wondering how I know all this. Because I am them. The second story. Green IZS. Hanpenze dualguna VZDQ algan desio suyo. Usaben Q loquiring. Pro QS imposable DQ say materialize OQ say. Haga realaudit. Bueno. Mi desio se cumplio. White green me. No esper nada lindo. Unitard estabas hoc and ucoses viges. Elementos diuna. Hipocricu no mie cortebie. Laud ola sensi. Bedo eq hachu poco habeas afrido in amnesia. Bastante important white rotabie. Irrecupera la memoria vindo coses. Jumi hubi bar an emperteni. I do esse podri recorder. Ago di lo qfumi vida. Entre las cosas viges que se y contraband orali. Biogenes photos. Juguti esti quando era chico. Intraspera recitales. Haces en avian. Y demiscoses pro algo que mi lamola. Attention if you me una. La foto de una chica. De almost de 17 os. Joven. De ojos verde. Indo cuerpo. White pelo negro nach. Alvarez de foto mijun mi gran prezi. On an el peco. Al punto. Rol deep en skimi ibi. Adaran paro cardiaco. Tomes de foto. Y mi al eve conmigo. A lapitation. Aberis dado. Rampart del. Dia observador pensando greenera. Hasta el punto tal de que quiera conocerla. Este pensamiento fui hasta la petición. Y mid I Jimmy mismo en un momento. Que te pie de hardia servo. Dado y que no podía vivir eternamente en el pasado. Ese que me dispuses a la. Por lo menos. aparter lidimi vista, parasimpra, enc and olean almas mobile deed under la hobby secadu. Los primeros dies depsis de haber, ecoes de furonderos. Simplement no mi la budiasator, de mi mente estebel, y extramur. Hasta que, simplement se mi dice parciai, mi deseo dic la, el tiempo paso. La greconsic warantur budger de oficina. Mi di mi casa para vivir en una pension. Comments tener amigos. Saludos de Vuleta. Mi memoria había casi vuelto por completo. Salvo por ese mi ridicu. Su nombre no sabía. Pero mucho problema no me hacho por eso. Dado que era na matna pasado. Un día en mi felamonte trabajo. Fai por mi lavant. And de mi oficina. Dominur joven. Diojos verdi white muy bella. Fumi mirabie. Tina, una carat y tristes a hachami. Estaba completamente vestida en negro. Este vestido ligibie hasta el piso. Y con los labios pintado, este un rojo casi morado. Se me resequim da paper, adahate hi. Morándome. No hacha nada más que mirarme. Al principio no le di mucha atención. Hasta que al pasar los días. Ese mirror estaba en el mismo lugar. Al comienzo pensé que era una mira loca. De pensar que estaba loca. Empecé a pensar de que lo mejor quería hacerme algo dito. Por eso comencé. Y contra unos guardé espodi esperar. Y que me protegieran en caso de que el quasi para hacerme algo dito. Y la semana de que los encontré. Las apariciones de esta persona cesaron. El tiempo siguió pasando. Y en mi trabajo fue ascendiendo cada vez más. Hasta que el elegio ser presidente. Y de esta empresa el día que me nombraron presidenta. Así de que era el momento de salir a festejar. Salí con un par de amigos a una fiesta privada en el centro de la ciudad. Ali estaba toda la crema. En el de esta metrópolis. Y yo me quedé con ella entre copas y esas amigables conocí a una mujer. No me acuerdo mucho de ella. Solo que tenía unos hermosos ojos verde y un hermoso pelo negro. Able con ella. Antes horas cuando yo se iban decidi levarla en lugar más tranquilo. La él iba mi casa dispuesto a pasar una buena noche. Lo mismo que el pi si hay entonces en os dispusimos a hacerlo. Pero algo si extra. Como que él se estaba como en sí. And a transformarse. Hasta que en un momento él se alejó de mí. Semi desnudo y con la luz de la luna se reflejaba en su cuerpo. Yo le pregunté que le pasaba, pero no contestó nada. Hasta que él me contestó. Yo soy el deseo que siempre quisiste, que siempre oíste en secreto. Y que me tienes, pero lo que no sabes y lo que deciste, no era algo de este. Luego te escucho, y eso supo que se est. ROYC acerco, cañas largas y produciendo, and horrendo grito hachimi, yo es estidula agri esquiviar, encerrarla a mi habitation, timar algo deed in era y mi auto, y escape, reparen anca mas volver mi vida. ESQ, querido lector, La próxima vez que dices algo, ten cuidado, porque lo que quieres puede hacerse realidad. Have you ever thought that some desire of his they know what they want, but is impossible to materialize or to be realized? Well, my wish came true, and believe me, not at all cute. One afternoon I was taking old things, elements of a time that I did not remember, adolescence, given that he had recently undergone a fairly significant amnesia, and recovered memory was seeing things I had prolonged so I could remember some of what was vital. Entre my old things that he contraband over there, I saw some pictures, toys from when I was a kid, concert tickets, plane tickets, and other things, but something caught my attention. Was the picture of a girl of no more than 17 years, young, green eyes, huge body, and black hair night. Seeing this photo, I'd generated a lot of pressure in the chest, to the point as long as I thought it would give me a heart attack. Take this picture, and I carry it with me to the room. I will have been much of the day thinking about who was watching her, to the point that you want to know. This was thought to obsession, and I said to myself at one point that ought quit, because he could not live forever in the past. So I started to throw, or at least it away from my sight, forever, locking her in the trunk where it had taken. The first few days worth I've done this, simply could not get me out of my mind to this beautiful and strange woman, until I just did my desire to know. Time passed. I managed to get an office job, leave home to live on a pension. I started having friends round exits. My memory had become almost completely, except for that woman that did not know his name. But no big deal to me why, since it was only last a day in my new job. I saw my window of my office a young woman with green eyes and very beautiful. I looked. I had a sad face to me, was completely dressed in black, this dress reaching to the floor, and with a red lipstick, almost purple QA that woman standing there, watching me, did nothing more than make first eye, did not give much attention, until the days passed. The woman was in the same place. At the beginning I thought it was a crazy woman, thinking she was crazy. I started to think that maybe I wanted to get some damage, so I started to hire bodyguards to protect me if she wanted me some damage. A week after being hired, the appearances of this person stopped. Time went by, and my job was ascending in more and more, until you get to be president of this company. The day I became president, I decided it was time to go out and celebrate. I went out with a couple of friends to a private party in the city center. There was all of this metropolis innate cream, and I rubbed shoulders with her sideways and friendly laughter met a woman. I do not remember much about her, only that she had beautiful green eyes and a beautiful green eyes and a beautiful black hair. Talked to her a few hours, and when everyone decided they were going to take a more quiet, a take home willing to spend a good night, as she seemed, so we set out to do. But something seemed strange, as she was starting to become, until at one point she turned away from me, semi-naked and with moonlight reflected off his body. I asked him what was wrong, but said nothing, until she answered, "I am the desire you've always wanted. I always secretly erased. Here I am, but you do not know, is that what you wanted? Was not some of this?" After hearing that his mouth stretched and approached, with long nails and producing a horrendous scream at me, I scared the dodge achieved, lock her in my room, take some money into my car, and escape never to return to my life. So, dear reader, the next time you want something, be careful what you wish for. It may come true. The third story The bald man. I am a street dweller, a creature of the night. Central Park is my halftime home. There are many who live and leave life like I do. We come out at midnight and live aimlessly, stumbling through the park, rambling, starting conversations with strangers, exchanging madness for madness. We know nobody. We are bohemians of the first degree. We never meet the same person twice. There was a philosopher called Diogenes who carried a lantern around, searching for one honest man. He never found one. Nobody has a soul. Nobody is real. That is our code. We live like Diogenes, searching for one honest man, one with a soul, one who we can rely on. Nobody had a soul, truly, but on this cool October night, I was ready to break this bohemian code of living, to know somebody, for I had stumbled on an exceptional bald man. We discussed modern times and our lifestyle. He was as simple as could be. He had no thought for politics. No issue you could name concerned him. He was a simple man. A man with a soul, an honest man. I arranged to meet with him at the same place in a week. He did not care to follow the code of us bohemians, as he followed nobody, and agreed. I met him again, just as arranged. I asked him all sorts of things. It was a grand conversation. For the first time in my life, I knew pure and simple joy. I was talking with an honest man. Sadly, that joy would soon be crushed, for he failed to keep the next appointment. I was not let down, for I knew no honest man could survive in today's world. Honesty and a soul are valuable qualities and easily lost. However, expecting him to arrive, I waited all night, drinking the absinthe that the poets of the early 20th century did. I valued absinthe. It was my substitute for honesty and a soul. Absinthe has strange qualities. I have often wondered if it causes delusions that stray us from reality, or if it gives us another sight. I let myself slip into the void, and let visions fill my eyes. Things that lived like me began to walk past me. Things that had no place, no home. Dwellers of the night. Older than Diogenes. Older than Diogenes. Older than men. The bald man never arrived. And the day came. I stayed in that spot all day, waiting for the bald man day. Always was too real to me. I even fell asleep several times. The cool air of night, and the pure fluidity of what we call reality in those hours is my world. We have lost the secrets that primal things held, the secrets of honesty and how the world works, replacing them with the artifice of science and religion. Night fell, and I was about to swallow more absinthe. Lo and behold, though, the creatures of old, the glorious primal fears of man at the very dawn of man, had not left my vision. The bald man was even among them, walking with them, being simple and honest, living their way. I attempted to converse with him, to know more about his simple way of life, but he was completely deaf to my words. Why, after all, should a man as honest as him bother himself with just another bohemian such as me? I was unworthy, and I knew it in shame so ever rough. I swallowed more absinthe. More creatures of the night began to walk among the dark road. Checking my watch, I noticed that not a minute had passed since night had fallen. That bothered me not. Eternal night would be so glorious, so honest, and so pure. I watched the primal fears of man and their mannerisms. They were so incorporate that I wondered how men had strayed from their path of simplicity and pure beauty. Wanting to see more, I swallowed more absinthe and began giving myself doses of opium. The purity of purities, the sacred things, now grew solid and tangible. What a blasphemy modern society is to remove them. The bald man even grew solid and tangible, and we conversed as we had in nights past. I had no opinions anymore, not a care for modern society. I had grown simple and pure like the bald man. I began to walk like these primal things, talking with the bald man, and not a minute passed. I was living the life of these beautiful creatures. Older than men, eternal night has fallen on me. I live honestly and purely, for I no longer live. If one does care to become honest and pure, dwell in Central Park when night has fallen, the bald man, or I might decide to converse with you. Make appointments with us, and have absinthe and opium ready. You may be lucky enough to become pure, to become true, to live honestly, and to live no longer.